Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, FD for SageFact.tv, and today we want to look at whether Cosmos Network and its Atom coin, as well as Polkadot Network and the DOT token, can stage a comeback. Because right now, they've been lagging behind big time. Is there another chance for these two so-called layer zeros? That's what we want to cover in this video. But before I jump into that, guys, please know that I am not a financial advisor. I'm just some dude on the internet interested in anything crypto. And this content in this video is just for entertainment as well as educational purposes. It's not meant to be financial advice. Therefore, if you are seeking financial advice, please approach someone who is actually trained to give you financial advice. Like I said, the information in this video is just for entertainment as well as educational content. And don't forget, if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel. The objective remains to keep growing our channel. Over time, we know we'll get there. But for now, we will rely on you guys either subscribing or passing the message over to your friends and family. There is an alternative channel that brings you non-conventional content that you may not find anywhere else. That said, let's come back to our look into whether there is a comeback on the cards for Cosmos Network and the Atom coin, as well as Polkadot and the DOT coin. Firstly, let's describe what each of these so-called layer zeros are. You got Cosmos Network, which is described as a modular interoperable blockchain ecosystem built to connect diverse chains into a unified network. Launched by the Interchain Foundation, lets standalone blockchains called zones link up with the Cosmos app through the Trust Minimized Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol, acronymed IBC. Think of Cosmos as the TCP or IP of blockchain technology, enabling seamless value and data transfer across chains without compromising their sovereignty. I'm also aware that there have been some changes to the organizational structure of the entity behind Cosmos' development. I think there are other videos on YouTube where you can go and find that information. For now, we are going to stick the terms of this video. On the other hand, you got Polkadot, which is a layer zero blockchain platform designed to enable interoperability, scalability, and shared security across multiple blockchains, also known as parachains. At its heart lies the relay chain, which coordinates security, consensus, and cross-chain operation. Developer-built parachains connect via auctions or staking, while parathreads provide a flexible pay-as-you-go chain connection. Bridges extend interoperability further, linking Polkadot to the likes of Ethereum, Bitcoin, and many other networks. Polkadot was spearheaded in 2016 by Ethereum co-founder Gavin Wood, built by Parity Technology and governed by the Web3 Foundation. So now let's move on to some of the strengths and weaknesses for each of these two layer zeros. Let's start with Cosmos and the Atom coin. Strengths first for Cosmos: it is a modular IBC powered framework that leads cross-chain communication in the so-called Internet of Blockchains. It also has a thriving ecosystem of DeFi hubs like Osmosis, native staking, and numerous app chains built via the Cosmos SDK. And as for the weaknesses for Cosmos Network, it faces stiff competition from the likes of Ethereum, Solana, and Avalanche in DeFi and NFT sectors. And let's not forget the likes of the newcomers like Sui, Aptos, and many more. As for the price outlook for the Atom coin, at the peak of the current cycle, the bull case will be dependent on if multi-chain narratives and IBC applications regain momentum. At the moment, they're on the floor. The Atom coin could rally towards $12 to $15 potentially. That's a 2.5 to 3x its current price. How the famous have fallen. I'm sure it goes something like that. Atom at one point during the last cycle, I think it went over $50 or somewhere thereabouts. Now we are talking of a maximum price of between $12 to $15. If things don't change, that will be a scandal, because this project during the last cycle, it had a lot of potential, and I don't think those things have changed. It's just the management side of it. I think things are being managed poorly. That's my own opinion, of course. And if we want to look at the conservative scenario of the Atom coin, I think we are looking at an upswing in ecosystem usage and narrative, which might push the Atom just past the $8 to $10 mark. That is terrible for the Atom coin. But let's hope all these numbers are well undervalued, and we may actually see the same prices like we saw during the last bull market. The problem now is there is stiff competition, and it's all about attention. If there's no attention within a sector or for a sector, there goes its fortunes down the drain. Moving on to Polkadot and the DOT coin. Let's start with the strengths of Polkadot and its coin. It is highly secure using its parachain architecture with shared security via the relay chain. It's also referred to as shared security. It's got a growing NFT and DeFi ecosystem and developer ecosystem across parachains like Moonbeam, Astar, and Parallel. But even though I think Parallel is dead down the drain, Astar, so Moonbeam, the once promising, but I think right now it's in the doldrum. You know what that means? Went down south. And as for weaknesses, well, you got the delayed rollout of parachains and dApps, sluggish developer adoption versus competitor chains, less less liquidity and lower trading volume than Cosmos-based projects. That is still true even today. As for the price outlook, at the peak of the current cycle, for the bull case, you are looking at full activation of parachain ecosystem and integration success, which will be needed to drive the DOT token past the $15 to $18 mark. That's roughly a 4x from present level. That is terrible. DOT went over $50. I think it even went past 60. And this time around, things had stayed the same. Most of us were expecting it to be in 3-digit numbers. But right now, that's a far cry from where it is and where it could be. I mean, in recovery mode, you are talking of slow ecosystem builds, which may limit the DOT token to between $9 to $12. Again, just like with the Atom coin, this is terrible. It's atrocious. But the buck stops with those who are leading this ecosystem. They've done a bad job. They've let their communities down. I'm not going to hold back. I'm just saying it as it is. I think the leadership for these two ecosystems, they've let their followers and their supporters down. I mean, you can tell. I got rid of my Atom coin a long time ago, or during the last cycle, but I still hold some DOT token. There you go. I've participated in almost all the reasonable or the decent parachains since the bear market, but I think I stopped in end of 2023 because I saw this coming. I was just thinking, these guys are only interested in showing how smart they are, not in actually bringing traction to their ecosystem. I could be harsh, but I think at this moment in time, all this is well deserved. I'm entitled to my opinion. Let's move on to ecosystem momentum versus the shifting sand that is being caused by competition. Both Cosmos and Polkadot maintain foundational strengths, interoperability, customizability, and architecture innovation. However, user narratives and developer gravitation have tilted towards chains with more visible DeFi, NFTs, or meme coin hype. Will they hold ground? Well, if Cosmos and Polkadot accelerate ecosystem promotion, dApp launches, and user adoption, they could regain attention, but right now, they are on the slippery slope. Or could they risk being bypassed by other chains in the market? I think that is what they are experiencing today. Without stronger marketing and user incentives, by stronger marketing, we don't mean misplaced marketing. I think Polkadot wasted a huge amount of DOT token, giving influencers, YouTubers who were only interested in getting what they can, and they sold the whole lot, but they were being given a fortune. And along the way, Polkadot lost plenty of supporters because some of them felt hard done by what the foundation was doing. So without stronger marketing and user incentives, developers may shift to other chains offering faster returns or higher visibility. That's a lesson. I think Polkadot is also at the mercy of whales. I think whales do manipulate that chain big time, and some of the whales might turn out to be insiders as well, which is not good if that is the case. But any whale who is manipulating an ecosystem for their advantage, regardless of what's good for the ecosystem, maybe the chain and the whale deserve each other. My final thoughts on these guys is that Cosmos and Polkadot are like queen doormen at Web3's party. Fundamentally essential, but too refined to crush the mosh pit. Right now, they are stuck standing in the wings, while Solana, Ethereum, Sui, Cardano, XRP, and many others, including the meme coin sensations, continue to dominate the dance floor. If they play their cards right, I highly doubt that, and if they supercharge their ecosystems and reclaim the spotlight, they could strut in and steal the show. But if they don't, well, they may end up as refined observers while others party loud and ride the current cycle wave. It's almost finished. Both of them have the architecture to star in the next acts, but only if they step out of the shadows and onto center stage. Will they take note, take heed of what I'm saying? I doubt so very much, because you've got some strong opinions and some strong egos within each. I think Cosmos, certain things have happened because I understand there's been a team rejig, but in Polkadot, there are certain characters who don't want to let go. They've got their claws right inside the structure that is Polkadot. So I can't see that happening anytime soon. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on these two once promising so-called layer zeros in Polkadot network and Cosmos ecosystem, now risking just being has been. Until the next time, FD for 65.TV signing out for now. Bye.